Hey guys, Ben42 here with another video for you from B42 University. Today I want to talk about networking on Twitch. If you remember the three fundamentals we went over in previous slides, this business presentation is going to be going over rule number 2, or fundamental number 2. So remember, we have rule number 1, a good product. Is your stream entertaining? Do people want to watch you? Number 2, good networking and marketing strategies. On Twitch, I name them both the same. Marketing and networking are intertwined with one another when you are becoming a Twitch streamer. And of course, consistency, and I spelt that word right this time. So let's take a look, guys. These really, I like to keep these videos somewhat short, and they help a lot of people, so let's keep going with it, guys. So just a few things to point out here. I think we can do a whole nother presentation on networking, and we will. But I want to go over these few fundamentals of the networking side. So what is networking? It's just getting to know one another, right? Making friends. This could go anywhere from a Facebook post to chats on Discord to just having a voice chat with a friend. It's all networking, and it's really important. And I made the 90-10 rule, and this is going to shock some of you people, I think. I believe 90% of your time, at least 90% of your time, should be spent networking and getting to know one another, and 10% should be spent on your stream. Or less, as a matter of fact. I know I'm at least, all day, 95% of my time is spent networking and communicating with others, and probably about 5% on my actual stream. Remember, you could do this all day. It's just talking to people sometimes. That's really what it is. So I know that's kind of maybe shocking to you, and maybe you disagree with it, and that is perfectly fine. You are allowed to disagree. And I just want to give you something to think about, really. So I think, that's a good number. 90% of your time networking, 10% focusing on your stream. And even in your stream, that's also considered networking as well. I want you guys to think about networking with similar groups of people. So you see some Discords actually group people up in different groups. You want to find other people that are similar in size to you, or maybe started around the same time in streaming. So if you average 5 viewers a stream, you want to seek out other streamers that are averaging 5 viewers a stream. Get to know one another and grow with one another. That is the best way. Hosting other people, that goes right into our next thing here. Hosting other people in the same category as you are, that started around the same time, that have the same numbers, they're going to get you back. They're more likely to get you back and have your back. When you host, especially a big-time streamer, so I see a lot of people have, Ninja or Dr. Disrespect on their auto-host list, or they'll host them, which is, that's completely up to you guys. But that is a wasted opportunity for you. I know you're hosting these guys because you like them, and I like them just as much as you. Great guys, fantastic. But if you host or raid somebody that's a similar size to you, they are more likely, definitely, to return that favor, and they're much more appreciative of it because, Ninja and Dr. Disrespect, all those big guys, it just goes unnoticed. They can't keep track of all the raids and hosts that they're getting. They have however many viewers. So keep that in mind, guys. Try to host and raid similar size streamers, hopefully within your community that you're in as well. Minimize the amount of Discords you are in. And this one's a little tricky. You don't have to minimize them. I would focus, you could fall into the trap of having 100 Discords and going into each Discord in the morning and saying good morning. Right? Who's done this? Raise your hand. I've done this. I think that's a bad strategy, right? So if you wake up, you're going through every Discord, you're saying good morning in every one of them, you really can't keep track. I want you guys to think about this. Focus on 3 Discords. I really only focus on 1 or 2. And really put your efforts into that. Focus on growing. Make sure it's a good community, a good Discord. Hopefully it's Team B42. I assume it would be. But if it's not, that's fine. Put your efforts into that. Grow with the community. Maybe try to get a moderator position or someone high up in that Discord, or think about maybe branching off and creating your own. But instead of spreading yourself really thin throughout 100 different Discords, I want you to think about focusing on just 3 or 2 or maybe even 1 Discord and really giving all your efforts there and really networking. Because if you just bob in and out of every Discord saying good morning or how are you every other day, you're going to get lost in the shuffle. People aren't going to notice you. And that's not really a good form of networking, in my opinion. And believe me, I have fallen into that trap before. It's easy to do that. So keep that in mind. This is one thing I hear a lot, guys. People ask me, well, what can I do to improve my stream? And I say network with people. Make friends with people. And my response usually is, well, I don't have time. If you don't have time to do that, you're not prioritizing what you need to prioritize. Look at the first bullet point I have up here. the 90-10 rule. Really, literally 90% of your time, especially when you're first starting out as streaming, should be networking with one another, getting to know one another. So if you say you don't have time, you're missing the whole point, I think. And you really need to prioritize networking with one another. And if networking and making friends with people is a grueling task for you, again, you're missing the point. This is going to grow your stream. This is going to grow your viewership. And it's really important that you do it. So when I hear you don't have time, I think you're really missing the point. So think about that, guys. I know everybody's falling into that, right? Well, I don't have time. I don't have time to do that. I can't spend time on Discord all day. You really need to make time. You really need to find the time, make time, and communicate with one another and network with one another, because it is that important. You guys may not think it is, but it most definitely is. And of course, know your audience is our last bullet point, guys. I want you to think about this. I'm just going to put this feather in your cap right now. What do, you know, especially first starting off, and I'll give you the answer to this, but when you're first starting off streaming, what does every single person in your audience, the people that actually watch you, what do they usually have in common? I'll give you a second to think about that. I'll tell you what they have in common. They're all streamers as well, okay? Usually in the beginning, everyone and there's few exceptions to this, obviously, but you know, when you're in these networking groups, you're in these Discords, you're in Team B42, what do we all have in common? We're all streamers as well. Keep that in mind, but that's not a bad thing, because streamers also are viewers, guys. So just know what your audience is and try to tie what you're doing. Have your kind of goals aligned together, guys. So you all want to grow as streamers, right? Just think about that and just know that your audience is an audience of streamers. So how could you appeal to an audience of streamers more? What can you do to get more viewers from that? And as you grow, you'll be getting those natural viewers. But I got to say, I think most people on Twitch, they also want to stream, or maybe they're interested in streamers. So just know your audience and know in the beginning you will be, you know, streaming to an audience of streamers. Just know that. I'll let you think about that and see what you can do to kind of improve upon what you're doing. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope this helped, gave you some stuff to think about, and we'll see you in the next video, guys.